Hello everybody and welcome to Stick It to the Manga, your weekly manga podcast where we discuss new manga every week. This week we're doing My Hero Academia. It's just gonna be me and Kevin today.
Hello everybody.
Alright, summary of My Hero Academia. There is a boy named Izuku Midoriya, is a normal middle school boy who loves superheroes, and he lives in a world that is in the future, not too far ahead of ours. They have similar technology to us, but they have developed an evolution called quirks, where superheroes and superpowers have come to the real world. And he has an idol named All Might, who is his favorite hero. And one day he meets All Might and is given an opportunity. And that's what we'll give you for the summary. Alright, from here on out we're going to be talking about spoilers. There's probably some stuff in that could be in the summary that I didn't add, just in case some people are like, oh, why'd you spoil that? Even though I'm pretty sure most other summaries include it. But we're going to be talking about spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen further, or read up to Chapter 26, and then come back and talk to us, and listen to us talk about this, and join our Discord, where you can talk about manga all you want. For free.
So, I want to start off with saying that each volume was really well done. Like, at the start of every volume, there was a dedicated student or teacher or superhero which explained who they are and what their quirk was.
Yeah.
And that was a really good touch. As I was disappointed with some things, though, because there wasn't really bonus chapters. Like, they had some bonus content where you got to meet certain characters that haven't been introduced in the manga yet. Like, one of them was Tenton.
Oh, yeah, that illustration. Those aren't actually characters that were made for the manga. Those are characters that he made based off of his editorial staff. So they were like his heroes. So he made heroes, like depictions of them. Like one of them was his editor, his pen work people, the people that do all the shading and inking for the manga to make the manga actually come out steadily. There's so much when it comes to creating a manga that a lot of people don't know. Like, it's not just one person most of the time. It's normally like a team of like 5+ people.
Probably way more, because, like, have you ever seen the anime or read the manga Bakuman?
Bakuman? Yeah. That's by the same people that made Death Note.
Yeah, and actually, really good manga, and we're not going to get really into it, but I'm only referencing it because it's all about, like, mangaku and their creative staff.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good manga to kind of get a look into the world of manga.
Yeah. So back to My Hero. What do you think was the cause of the evolutionary quirk? Like, how do we know it wasn't pollution and all these, like, radio waves and gamma waves and all, like, everything that is bad about Earth being, like, the thing that evolved us? Like, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I think it actually probably was something like that. It was either because it's definitely not a natural evolution, because that if it was a natural evolution, the human race would evolve kind of equally, if I understand evolution properly, which I might not. I'm not like a genius when it comes to evolution.
It's really interesting because I mean, it could have been anything. Like, how do we know that we're not going in the same direction towards the evolution of quirks? Like, if you look around all of us, you see all this technology and you see all these things that are always altering our DNA because of just being around them, you know? Like, no amount of tech or anything is really healthy to be around all the time. And it's changing us biologically. So the quirks could be something like that.
Yeah, it could be. In a world where quirks exist, how do you think you would feel um, if you were somebody that was born without a quirk?
You mean part of the 20% of the population?
Yeah.
Well, in a way, I'd be scared. I would be scared and one of those people like a shut-in because in a world without a quirk, you're always being like you're always going to be a target. You're always going to have to be fearful of villains. Like, and on top of that, you wouldn't be able to do anything to even protect yourself about it. And the ridicule on top of that, like you just would not be safe not to have a quirk. They're like at that point you might as well just end your life in that type of society.
I feel like with the heroes, it's like you still have like they still need regular people like that 20% to take care of like stuff like, running grocery
Police work
stores
and
and police work, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
and like
but
government stuff even. They probably don't
medical
want somebody that's like All Might. They probably don't want All Might as like a president because, he's probably not going to get into you know, the diplomatic stuff.
yeah, and like things like medical would be hell
Mm-mm.
because like as a somebody without a quirk, you would have to learn all there is to know about quirks and everything. Like it would be just as ridiculous as computer science at the point of for medical with quirks because like one of the things they found out was something to do with your pinky toe to determine if you have a quirk or not.
Yeah.
And like how would you like being a medical staff at that point is just wow, you know? You just wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, like imagine being somebody that has to tell a kid that they don't have a quirk and like everybody else in their class does.
Well, that's where this story is going with Midoriya.
Yeah.
And I mean, with some of the interesting plot points where he is quirkless in the beginning and he shows his everyday life and shows him wanting to be a hero. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way the story went, I feel would have been more interesting if All Might's power won for all. What was I saying? I completely forgot. I blanked out. I'm sorry.
You're talking about how it talks about Midoriya's daily life before he got his quirk.
Yes, like with the hero class and everything, like I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but with with the hero course and stuff where there is opportunities without a quirk because there's something called the assist class or whatever,
Yeah.
like with all the gadgets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So people without a quirk could actually do something like become Batman, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, it would have been more like the story would have gone a different route if All Might didn't choose Midoriya as his successor. I feel, but at the same time, it would have been interesting to go the route where he didn't get the powers from All Might and he was still quirkless, but he made his way through the assistant class.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, like he could have still become a hero without a quirk, technically. But I feel like there's like regulations in the world that are like if you don't have a quirk, you can't be a hero because it's too dangerous. You're putting your life at too much of a risk because you don't have a quirk.
Yeah, and I mean, even the in the assistant program, you have people without, or you have people with quirks building things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very unfair society with the people without quirks, in my opinion, because like according to their rules, if you don't have a quirk, you can't do anything hero work.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
That includes general studies. Like, what the heck in the world would general studies even be?
Yeah, like even people who have like I feel like general studies I feel like would just be like for at like UA Academy at least would be like learning about the background stuff of heroics.
Maybe general studies could also be the medical profession field where
Yeah,
they're studying quirks as well. Like
possibly.
I know that there's a business quirk like that talks strictly business. But I mean, with that being said, the business core was definitely really interesting, and they're only mentioned like once, and that's with UA Sport Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't explain much of what they do except analyze the heroes for stock markets,
Yeah.
the type of what that hero can do. So, like, do you think they would be part of the general class
Perhaps they
or
might even
general studies
because there's 11 different classes at UA.
that are part of generals, right?
Just that's there's 11 different classes, so heroics, general, assist. So there's
Those are
probably a medical class too.
probably, but you would think that the medical class would be more like 13's type of specialty, which is like disaster and unless they have a separate class for disaster rescue.
That might
But
still just go into heroics because I know number 13 was specifically in the hero program, but ended up specializing in disaster rather than fighting because of how his quirk works. Because his quirk would just like eviscerate a person since he is just like a black hole.
that which begs the question, maybe 13 did it more of a moral because like he knows his quirk could kill people.
Yeah,
So he prefers to use it to help people instead of killing those villains or something.
yeah. I'm pretty sure that's his thing is like he doesn't want to fight. He'd rather like get rid of like there's a car trapped on somebody, he can suck up and destroy the car so that
Yeah,
person can escape.
yeah, and just just there's something I want to bring up. There's a quirk literally for everything.
Yeah.
Like, the one quirk that's out of place in UA is Midnight's quirk. Like, there's literally a hooker quirk. That's what I'm going to call it, the hooker quirk.
I mean, that's not what her quirk is. They haven't revealed what her quirk is. It's just the outfit she wears.
I know what her quirk is. That's, like, for what her quirk is and how she dresses just makes no sense whatsoever. Like, I'm not going to say much more because it goes to, like, after chapter 26 and further, like, in the anime. I just wanted to bring up that Midnight is one of the misplaced heroes that should not be in UA. She should not be a teacher.
I don't think she's... Is she technically a teacher?
She's a teacher, but the thing is like, she, like, I'm pretty sure we should look it up in the manga to be certainly clear that she's a teacher, but from what I can tell, she's a teacher, and there's no really hero dress code if they're letting Midnight be not just a teacher, but some, like, there are some outfits that just should not be a thing in a school, you know?
I mean, the invisible girl just runs around naked at points, so...
I'm pretty sure we see her wearing clothes.
She wears clothes most of the time. But when she goes into combat, she doesn't wear anything.
Yes, but I mean, she's invisible. Like, there's not much you can really do except imagine it and be like that one guy in the training exercise where he's like, "Oh wow, I can't believe I'm standing beside a naked girl." That was pretty hilarious.
That was
it's
funny.
like, really? That's the first thing that pops in your head?
Under all other circumstances, this would be undeniably hot. I'm pretty sure is what he says.
Yes, but he would be like, but you can't even see her, so what's really the point? How would it be hot? You wouldn't be able to tell. You don't know what she looks like. How do you know she's not a troll? Like, it's a catfish. She's a giant catfish character.
How do we even know that she's a woman?
I'm pretty sure they say she is.
Yeah, they expressly say that she is a girl.
Yeah.
But how can we believe them? What if she's a man?
Well, I mean, for the manga, we couldn't assume the gender, but for the anime, it's clear that she's a girl.
Hey, you can get implants
on an invisible girl. You would if you got implants, it would just be 2 floating boobs. That's it.
Imagine.
Why would you, like, seriously? That's all you would see is 2 floating breasts. Like, you can't get an implant for invisible girl.
Oh my god, you just
and you wouldn't even be able to see the implant. Or you wouldn't even be able to see where you're putting the implant. So how do you know you didn't put the implants in her stomach or something?
That surgery would be a mess.
Her, like, you know how we were talking about medical? Her medical would be through the roof. Like, surgery would be impossible.
I wonder if her internal organs and stuff are invisible. Or if, like, her skin makes it so everything that's inside it is invisible, too.
That'd be really interesting. Like, I don't even think she bleeds.
Yeah,
so...
I don't think there's ever been a thing showing that she's bled.
Yeah, but she, like, even though we're talking about her, I don't know how popular she is demographically. No, not demographically. How popular of a character she is. Like, I don't think she's very popular.
Um, I think there is a decent like following for her. Not like nothing as big as like Deku or Todoroki
Yeah. This
or
begs, begs
Bakugo.
this begs the question: who is your favorite UA character?
My favorite so far is All Might, just because I find his interactions with everybody kind of hilarious.
All Might's a really good rounded character. For me, I had a lot really hard time deciding who my favorite character was, and I so when we were planning, I just decided to go with Momo just because of how like her quirk works.
She has a really
And,
cool quirk.
and I mean, like going through our group chat and the memes and stuff, we had the whole meme where she's like Santa Claus's
Granddaughter.
granddaughter. So it was like that's kind of funny. I want I want to pick her as my favorite character just for the Santa Claus memes.
So, if you had Momo's quirk, what was the first thing that you would make?
Porn. I would make porn mags and sell them. Or porn mags are paraphernalia. Like somebody breaks their bong. Oh, just give me a second. Poof, thin air. Here's a bong.
I wasn't expecting you to say porn mags.
Or bongs.
No, that I probably would have expected that more, honestly.
Well, why would you create porn mags? Like seriously,
that that's
could
that's
you
that's a profitable business.
exactly, especially like being able to conjure up anything from your imagination. Oh wow, I would probably go to dark places with that.
Oh
Now
god.
that I think about it.
Oh Jesus. Good lord, Kevin, don't release that dark box inside your brain. Don't release that chaos upon the world.
Oh, but boy, I mean, everybody would expect it. Have you seen the Kevin Time memes?
I, I don't think anybody else has, but I have seen them.
Yes. If this video gets, let's say, 2 million likes, I'm saying something ridiculous. We'll leak the Kevin Time meme from one of my buddies that took the picture. It's nothing really special.
It's really just like a good like inside joke.
Yeah, it's more of an inside joke, but
It got turned
so
into a meme amongst our the friend group.
yeah. And for 2 million, what was it? 2 million likes will let you in on the inside joke, I guess. But I mean, I don't want to be known for that. That's kind of weird. The things I go through for this channel.
I don't think this video will ever get 2 million, but if it does, you made this deal yourself, Kevin. You have no one to blame but you.
I know. I know.
Um.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyway,
So
moving
we'll get back to Deku. Um, and
on.
now he got his quirk. So a little bit of the backstory for his he had a a bully in middle school and elementary who used to be like one of his best friends growing up
I
until
think
they were
he
4.
still is friends with him. It never says that he dislikes him. It's just more of a rivalry these days between those two.
Yeah, it becomes more of a rivalry, but like at the beginning, it's just like Bakugo is just a jerk. He's a bully.
Yeah.
So like Izuku, like Deku doesn't hate him, but he doesn't there isn't like a friendship between them. There isn't even like camaraderie. It's like after Bakugo has always viewed like everyone else is under him, so he's
For
treated.
some reason, Deku, like, Deku is the only rival that Bakugo really tries to fight with majorly. Like
Yeah,
all of UA, out of all of UA, and like he's always pissed about something.
yeah.
He's always pissed about something, and he always tries to pick fights, but it always goes back to Midori no matter what, and it's kind of weird.
I think that has to do with his arrogance from as he was growing up. He always built himself up as I'm better than everybody. I'm better than everybody. Nobody's quirk is better than mine. And then when Deku rescued him from that slime villain, it put him into this like, you think you're better than me because you tried to save me from this villain. Fuck you. And
Yeah,
then when Deku was like, I want to go to UA even though I'm quirkless, that pissed off Bakugo or Kakchan. Um,
we should call him. We should just call him a dick, Dick
he's
Chon.
Dick-chan. He's just a huge dick. Like, I know there's a meme about it. Like, we've got Green Naruto and and blonde Sasuke.
Yep. Uh,
But yeah, like he has this superiority complex where he like Deku threatened his power by obtaining a quirk and then showing off that quirk and how strong it was during the entrance exam to UA and
he
then
did.
getting into UA.
It's still useless. It's still pretty useless for him at this point in time, though.
Yeah,
Like,
but you
like,
know, Bakugo
like
was like, "You don't have a quirk. You're worthless. You'll never be better than me." And then he defeats like the strongest enemy in the entrance exam
he
in
didn't
one punch.
defeat it. Well, okay, he did defeat it, but his goal was more to save Uraraka,
Yeah,
which she has a pretty cool quirk as well.
yeah,
Like zero gravity, like being able to throw an object for infinity.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I
Like that's
know.
how she got the nickname Infinity Girl.
Yeah. Um. Oh, we should talk
What?
about Deku actually getting his quirk.
Yeah, it was just pretty simple. Eat my
It's
hair.
it. It. I mean, it wasn't just eat my hair. He had to train for 10 months, which I feel like if he had more time, obviously, if he had more time, he would have been able to withstand um, all for one's or one for all's um, power. Is
Yeah,
he inherited his quirk from All Might, and
it was a
all
little bit rushed, I feel, for
yeah
that. And I mean, I just had a funny thought. You know how I said eat my hair? I just thought about All Might shaving himself completely bald and then putting his hair on a plate and giving it to Midoriya to eat.
Ugh. Ugh.
Bottoms up, Midoriya! Eat my DNA! You'll enjoy it.
Eating a whole bowl of hair.
It reminds me of Filthy Frank and his human cake.
Oh god, don't talk about that. Don't bring that up. PTSD. Not actually PTSD. PTSD is a fucked up thing.
I know what you mean, though. I can't unsee that.
No one can unsee that. Yeah, like 10 months is a really short time to get as ripped as Deku did. Like,
that was actually pretty impressive. I have to admit, that boy was a twig when he started.
Yeah, like he had no muscle mass.
Like literally 10 months and he has a beach body? Like, that got me thinking. Maybe I should do Deku's intensive training for 10 months, see how ripped I get.
Dude.
That's all the more reason to go to the beach and clean up trash.
So you have a talking point on here where, like, do you think One for All could stack with other quirks?
Yeah, like it's been something I was thinking about because it says that the power, like, it goes on from one processor, next processor to the next processor. Like, is it only stackable upon somebody without a quirk? Or say somebody has a fire quirk, and when they pass on all, like, one for all, and they with the fire quirk stack on with One for All, so now you get like super strength and a fireball.
I feel like it does stack up on other quirks. I think it just doesn't, like, if say All Might gave his One for All to Bakugo. Like, I think if when Bakugo passed it on, he would only pass on One for All, but not his explosion quirk.
Yeah, like that would make the most sense because like a quirk like that would be way too overpowered.
Yeah, it'd be really cool for something like that, because like it'd go from, like, you know, All Might's predecessor, whatever their natural born quirk was, unless they only had One for All, then like pass that on to All Might. And All Might, there's a theory that All Might has his own quirk.
The muscle, like,
yeah,
being able to muscleize.
Yeah. How did you feel about the quirk evaluation on the first day with Eraserhead?
Well, it's interesting. I have a love-hate scenario with Eraser. Like, I don't know if they made him strict on purpose, and then Midoriya slowly, like, he warms up to Midoriya, because I mean, he expelled a whole class before, and so he wasn't lying about the automatic expulsion, but he, for whatever reason, did not want to expel Midoriya. It was like Cork at first sight type thing. You know?
Yeah, it actually explains his thinking on that. is he expels people if he thinks they have zero chance of becoming a hero. And
at this point in time, though, of that training, it looks as if Midoriya could not become a hero. It really does. So I mean, Midoriya should be expelled according to his rules.
um I think his thing was that if they had zero chance, but he saw the potential in Deku.
Yeah, especially with the sports festival. Like, I want to go into how epic that was, especially the race where Deku digs up these landmines and blows himself up to get across the finish line.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Like,
we stopped at a really bad part though because they were just going off into the next event.
It's kind of a good place to stop though, because we have that kind of like a cliffhanger of like, oh, they're going into the next competition. You better tune in next time.
The manga was really well done, especially with the intense moments with when we meet one of our main League of Villain members.
Shigaraki, I think his name is.
Yeah, the guy with like hand face palm. You know face palm.
Yeah.
Some of his panels with showing his face and stuff like that, like how evil looking it was well done. And I liked how the manga was pretty loyal with the anime. Like there wasn't anything really cut out.
Yeah, I loved that the anime was super dedicated to the manga, and I love the art style of the manga. Like I prefer it over the anime, even though the anime is like almost spot on for it. It's you just get a lot more intensity in the manga, in my opinion. Like you
Well,
get
the one thing that I'm trying to like that felt weird about the manga and anime of is each character looked completely different in their art style. Like if you look at Uraraka, for example, she looks completely different art style than Momo, for example.
yeah.
Like there's like two different there's more than one conflicting art style within the manga and with and it's like I don't know how to explain it, but characters look completely different and it's it's like comparing somebody who's 2D with somebody who is 3D type deal. Like that's how different the art style is for Momo compared to Uraraka.
Yeah, I feel like that's intentional. I feel like the mangaka did that intentionally to give each character individuality, like even within the art style. Like if you look at, Eraserhead and then compare him to All Might, they contrast so much.
All Might looks too bright, where Eraserhead like looks dark and gloomy and is always in sleeping bags for some reason. Where All Might is like bright, vibrant, and colorful. Like the art style, like again, I can't stress it enough. Each character has a different art style, and it just throws you off a bit, really, because it's not consistent.
I don't. I mean, for me, I really enjoy the like each character being different, but I can see um how you feel about it.
It, it's just it's just unique because you wouldn't think like my example where we're comparing 2D to 3D, you wouldn't think that there would be 3D and 2D art style, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or 2D and 3D art style. It just was different, that's all.
Yeah.
Like there's not one example I can think of off the top of my head where you're in a 2D scene and something is more 3D, or you're in a 3D scene and something's 2D.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like how like there's one example, I just can't remember the anime right now, but if you look at the anime, there's a TV show with inside the anime that's actually a realistic war looking show inside for TV.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to explain it, but like there are a few anime that have like realism inside anime, and those ones usually are the ones that are unsettling, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, why is there realism inside a cartoon? And I don't mean like, oh, they're drawn more realistic. They're like inside an anime, it looks like there's literally something from that looks realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, really realistic, like something that was taken out of the world and like pasted, you know?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he meant.
What did you think of their costumes? Like, they came up with really unique costumes, especially Bakugo, who thought about what his quirk actually does and how it helps him. And same with that Earjack, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Like, their costumes were really well designed, really suited to what their power does. Like, Bakugo knows that his sweat is explosive. He also knows when enough is gathered up in one place that it causes a bigger explosion.
Mm-hmm.
What he has done, he's made gauntlets that literally collect sweat for bigger blasts.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I mean by costumes were uniquely designed.
Yeah. All of their costumes are unique. I know that some of the costumes, like in canon, like in the world, have like the same designers. I don't know if that's like fully shown just yet, but I know that's a thing.
You know, one person that would be cosplay as Best Genus. Best Genus would be so hard to cosplay as. Actually, I'm going to Google it right now.
I hate Best Genist's costume. I hate it so much.
No, the people have actually done it.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, is that Mount Lady as a guy?
Probably.
What the heck? I did not even think this was a real thing. Ah, there's a nice Todoroki one with the genus behind him. One Piece Gene Freak. What the heck? Ah, it's just Luffy and jeans. Yeah, I did not know this was a thing.
Yep, it's definitely a thing. Cosplay is an amazing thing. Like, if Gabby was on this podcast, she would be like going crazy because she loves cosplay.
Yeah, and we do plan to have Gabby back on.
What was your favorite costume?
Honestly, I liked all of them, but I think the one, like, I don't know, because they're all unique, especially those examples I mentioned with Bakugo and Earphone Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, favorite costume, the two mittens, the two floating mitts. I have to say that ironically. I can't stress it enough. Like, the Invisible Girl is definitely interesting.
I really like Nida's
Nita.
costume. Class president.
Oh yeah, his is pretty cool actually.
He's
I
like,
don't I don't think his has any special thing.
no, his is just like a family like tradition of their style. Like that's just what they do. They say it gives them more air resistance, but it actually doesn't. It just looks cool, and it gives them a
Yeah,
knightly appearance.
yeah. The Idas are all engine related.
Yep, they all have like speed quirks.
You know what? I'm surprised that they're not in NASCAR.
I don't think I don't think they could be in. I don't think NASCAR would affect them because they're on their feet, Kevin. They're not racing cars.
Well, think about it. Wouldn't it be funny to see freaking Ida race?
Oh my god! See them
But
race like uh, Tony Stewart. I think is a. I don't know. I haven't
either either
listened to
way,
NASCAR stuff in so long. I don't even know anymore.
I've never been into it. I just thought it would be kind of funny to mention Ida racing race cars.
Oh my god, my dad's into NASCAR, so I kind of know a little bit. I'm pretty sure Tony Stewart is a NASCAR driver. Pretty sure he drove the Home Depot car.
I'm just hoping that our podcast doesn't offend anybody, because I mean, holy jeez, do we talk about the strangest things? Well, that's why we're a well diverse community, is because we do talk about interesting things
Mm-hmm.
that not a lot of people would think about. Like, I bet you nobody thought they would create porn magazines if they had the creation quirk.
I feel like there's other people that have, just because the world is the world is run by porn.
I mean, most of our innovations are porn.
I mean, we already have robots that give blowjobs, so
We have those.
yeah.
Sign me up.
Jeez.
Let's. Does it feel as good as a real?
I don't know. Anyway, if you had a quirk, what do you think it would be?
Well, that one is really subjective, because it would be a power that I would want.
Yeah, like if
I
you had a
think,
quirk, what if you had a quirk, what would you want your quirk to be?
well, I'm going to go all magical index on you and say the power to cancel out any quirk, like a stronger version of eraser heads, like not being able to just glance and take away a look, but actually like thinking it, or something like that. Something so extreme where like it nullifies all quirks within 5 kilometers within being in contact with me.
Okay. What do you think your quirk's drawback would be? Because
The
all the
fact,
quirks have a drawback of some kind.
um, well, I think one of the drawbacks might be something like not knowing who's in the parameter and canceling out your friends' quirks, as well as not being completely defenseless to things like guns and knives. Like that, like I don't know how big of a drawback, that
I
would be,
mean,
because yeah, there's
uh,
always.
affecting friendlies is a decent drawback. Like having you have no control over it; it just is.
Yeah,
Um.
either that, or I would. It would either be that, or I would have like extreme charisma.
Okay.
because, like, if we're going off personalities, because, I mean, at first, people don't like me, and then they grow to like me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's really weird. Like, I have stories of high school where I wasn't really liked, and then I've become, like, very liked, I guess. But again, I don't know if that's because people felt sorry for me or stuff like that, so I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
type deal. What about you?
I would. I thought of this as you were talking. Like I had one in my head before, but as you were talking, I was like, this one's so much cooler than what I had. Like the ability to take like a playing card, say, for example, a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and summon that creature and control it.
So pretty much it would be like a summoning.
I'm a dual disc,
That would be so messed up.
and
I
like
summon the Ace of Hearts.
I'd have like the dual disc like slots on my arm, and my arm would be like mechanical a little bit.
So you would just be a futuristic duelist.
Basically, I would be the dual disc. Like I would have like a projection thing in the middle of my chest, but like it wouldn't just be a projection, it'd be like the actual monster.
Well, it's better than being the bullshit detector.
And my drawback would be that I didn't like get to pick what I like drew out of my deck. I'd just like have like a sachet of cards that comes out of like my side, and I just pull it out, and that's what I get.
Oh, dang it, you get a Karibo. Damn it, not the creature I wanted! Just give me a second, I'm gonna lay down some trap cards.
And like maybe after I reach 40, like 40 cards, I have to like rest for X amount of time to refill the deck.
So pretty much you only get half the deck.
Oh, a Yu-Gi legal tournament deck for Yu-Gi-Oh is 40 to 60 cards, but 40 is the standard, 60 is the limit, and most people don't go past 40 just because.
With that being said, though, there would be that's a really bad drawback because you could get like something as good as the Egyptian gods, or well, there's better cards than the Egyptian gods. It's just
Yeah.
first thing that came to mind. Or you could get something as bad as oh dang, what's that card?
Okay. Like Loyal Dog Marin, who's just a dog.
Yeah.
Or one of the paper plane guys that just ride a paper plane and have like 100 attack and 0 defense.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there, and some cards would have their own. I remember that some like Dark Magician Girl, for example, had her own different type of personality.
Mm-hmm.
So that you would have technically 2 drawbacks. That's pretty bad.
That's okay. I feel like it could also be really overpowered at times because you get, you know,
Like the Sphinx.
yeah,
Oh,
stuff like
Pyramids
that,
of Light.
and it's just super strong.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
and I think we're gonna have to wrap up because I'm running out of time here.
okay, the one last thing I wanted to mention, though, it says that your waifu is actually 10 tons right now.
That was a joke.
Oh, that was a joke.
That was a joke. Because I'm a big boob guy. I like big boobs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about this during Monster Musume.
Yeah, we did. I like out of this world bazongas.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, and if you want to follow our social medias, on Twitter it's SitManga, and on Instagrams it's SitManga Podcast. Stick It to the Manga on Facebook, stick it to the manga everywhere. And we have a Discord that we will start putting the link to in the description of our podcast, so you can click that and get put into our podcast, our Discord, so you can join the conversation.
Have a good day, everyone. See you for our next book, where I think we're doing Soul Eater.
Yep. So we'll probably be doing Soul Eater next week. If we're not, we will be doing something else. Alright, thank you for listening. Bye-bye, manga fans.
Bye.